y'all. It's Cassie Bollinger. It is Work at Wednesday. I'm gonna talk real quick about what I do. Like, how do I work my business? And guys, I work from my bed on a lot of different days. How do I do that? On the days that maybe I didn't get very much sleep, or I am exhausted, or maybe I was working one of my other jobs and I come home and I just want to get into my bed and watch some TV. How do I work? Well, guys, I get on my phone and I make sure my uh, posts are scheduled. I make sure that I'm interacting with the people that have commented or reacted. I then start sending out messages. Who do I pick? Sometimes it's random. I see who's active on Facebook and I go through and I message them and just say, hey, how's it going? What's going on? And I start a conversation, see if they're available. And sometimes they are and sometimes they're not. And then we get to talking about either the products they've purchased, what they think about the products, or sometimes, depending on what's going on, I just ask them how their day is. Just being like, hey, I was thinking about you today and just wanted to check in and say hello. So working hard doesn't have to be hard. Working consistently doesn't have to be a full-fledged 3 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours. It could be the 30 minutes that you sit down and you're doing nothing. It could even be potty time checkups. Now, what does that mean? That means you're going to the bathroom and you take that 5 minutes that you're going to the bathroom and you message two people. Or you check on your Facebook or you check on your Instagram, or do something in that time that you're not really doing anything else. You can do so much in the small amount of time when you just try to find the time, if that makes sense. And this is the reason why I bring this up. Working your business doesn't have to be an 8 to 5, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Working your business can be on those opportunities that you have moments that are free. If you are heading to the doctor's office and you know you're going to wait for an hour, that may be a good time to either create a list from your histories, or go back through your messages of people that you have messaged, or go to your VIP group and see maybe who hasn't commented recently, or maybe who's not been as active as normal. And just reach out to them and say, hey, you already know that time you can spend doing that. Also, when you are going to pick up your kids or your husband or a friend and maybe they're late, or maybe it's going to be a little bit of time that you're going to be spending that you are not physically doing anything else, find the moment just to send a message, or schedule posts. Sometimes what I do is, if I really like a post but I don't have time to schedule it, I will save the post on Facebook. It's the three dots in the top of their post, and I click save and I put to use later. I've created that little group. It's private. That way I can go back to it and look at it, reword it, see what images they used, but maybe it was the idea, or maybe it was the image I really loved, or the wording, and I wanted to kind of like utilize that to create my own. But those moments of what you do, the small things that you do, and the time that you take to work your business is what will help you be successful. Our business is a party business. It's a as you go business. There is no clock in, clock out. We're not paid hourly. We're paid by our sales. We're paid by commission off of what we do. So if you think about the things of how do I make a sale, and then it's not just the sale, it's also the follow-up. So how do you make a sale? Starting brand new or maybe restarting your business, you need to connect with people. And for you, that could be in so many different ways. There's not one specific way to do anything. We are all different. We all have different personalities. We all have different backgrounds. Mostly my background is in customer service and IT support, along with data entry. So for me, using spreadsheets and just having the customer service of, like, my pleasure whenever they say thank you, saying, checking up on them and being like, hey, I hadn't heard from you in a while. Is everything okay? And then sometimes when you reach out to other people, they may have a lot going on and they may want to tell you all about it. You need to listen and just be like, and say, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were going through any of that. Is there anything I can do for you? Or if you don't want to offer that in case you're one person that maybe you're a person that doesn't really want to offer, how can you help? But just have be empathetic. Be empathetic to your customers or your teamies. If something's going on, like, I am so sorry for you. I'm a person who prays, so I'm like, I will pray for you and hope for XYZ, whatever the situation pertains to. But working from my bed is actually more productive than me coming into my office. And this is the reason why. There's times when I come into my office that my ADD kicks in and I can't stay focused on just doing the computer or just listening to a video and taking notes. Sometimes I feel like I need to be doing something. That's how I was raised. You don't just sit around doing nothing. You have to be doing something all the time. So when I come into my office, sometimes it's overwhelming because there's stuff to be put away, there's stuff to be labeled, there's stuff to be printed, there's stuff to be filed or put, like, seriously, I have stacks of stuff because I try to put them into stacks over here and then they get moved over here and then I need this area so I move them back over here and then I sit down and I'm like, there's a stack of papers. What are they? So for me, working from my bed and just having my notebook, I can go through my notes of who I talked to, or maybe someone said that, hey, remind me later on this day. So I put that in my calendar. Like, I want to order, but I don't get paid till Friday, or I don't get paid till the 1st or the 15th or the 20th or whatever the day is. I put it on my calendar and I check in with them. It's like just a reminder or sending your reminder because you want sending the reminder you requested. There's different ways to say that. Basically, like, you wanted me to tell you, so I'm telling you it's the today is the day, and they'll either order or not and be like, oh, I know, but you didn't remind me early enough. So when I start getting in that situation that the customer has told me, like, hey, remind me on Friday, but then I message them Friday morning at like 8 o'clock and they're like, oh, I wish you'd reminded me earlier. I wasn't able to do that and I don't have the funds. The next time they say, hey, remind me, I get paid on Friday, I'm like, hey, I'm going to send you a reminder Thursday night. So that way it's on your mind. And then I'll remind you on Friday. Does that work for you? And I always ask them, like, which would you prefer? When we ask these questions, these are customer service questions. These are things that I have learned over the years. And sometimes I forget that not everybody has the same background as I am. I've worked as a server in a restaurant. I've worked at fast food. I've worked in office in the corporate setting, in multiple different departments. So when you are on a phone call, you can't really see how they're acting and their mannerisms. And so sometimes you have to verbally ask them cues because you can't see them like you would if you were serving them food or taking an order through drive-through. You can't see them, but you can kind of see them when they come up to pay. So the things to ask is kind of, you want to open-ended, but you always want to ask in a way of courtesy. How would you like to be asked? When someone says, hey, I really want to order, but I have to wait till payday. Don't just say fine, whatever, or okay. Be like, awesome, because they're wanting to order from you. That should be an awesome. That's great. Oh my gosh, that's cool. Like, yeah. What do you need from me? Would you like me to send you a reminder? That is asking a question for them to respond. If they're like, no, I got it, then you just let it go. And you can kind of either mentally or put it on there that hey, they wanted to pay Friday. If I haven't heard from them, I'll check on them in 24 to 48 hours. That would be like, hey, I just wanted to check back. It's okay if your decision has changed. But you wanted to order so and such on Friday, and I know it's Sunday. I just wanted to make sure if you wanted me to order it, that we didn't have a miscommunication. So basically, I'm kind of putting the blame back on me because maybe they were wanting me to order it, but they hadn't sent me payment yet. There's different ways to word it as a customer service wise. Every situation is different and every person is different. So again, not one size fits all. There's not one statement you can do that will fit all of them. But as you start to build rapport with your customers and you ask them, would you like me to send you a reminder? They're going to know, oh, she always sends me the reminder. Oh, she always does this. So yes, please do, because I know that you'll stay on top of it, because a lot of people are like me. They're ADD. They have great intentions, but sometimes they don't follow through because they forget or they get sidetracked or there's more going on in their life than you know. So those small little steps will help you get to the comfort zone of your customers. They will allow them to build trust with you, and they know that when you say you're going to do something, that they'll do it. So all these little steps are helping you work. And again, since I work a lot of times from my bed, I can do this in a notebook. I use my calendar, I use my notebook. I also, when I message them, when I write down all my notebook, so if I message Susie Q on Monday about her order and she said it hadn't arrived yet, she'll check when she gets home from work. I wait until maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. So I'll write down what day and time I messaged her and what her response was. And I'll say, Susie Q said, Susie Q said to check back with her later. And so I'll wait 24 to 48 hours. So that means Wednesday morning, if I still haven't heard from her on her order, then I'm going to start messaging her Monday and be like, hey, did it arrive? I did see that UPS had delivered it. I just want to make sure that everything was perfect. So those are the notes that I write down to try to check with my customers. Doing that, again, I don't have to do it in my office because, again, my office is my ADD trap. But I'll do it from my bed. I'll have my notebook out and then I'll write a note. Sent her a follow-up message on Wednesday, 8 a.m. If I haven't heard from her later on, then I might send an email. I only try to contact a customer probably once or twice about a certain situation. If I've been ghosted or they haven't responded, then I move on. There's only a couple of my customers that has said, no matter what, please keep checking back with me. I get really busy and I'm horrible at checking back on messages because I'm that way too. If I don't do it right then when someone sends me a message, it could be a week or 2 weeks or a month. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I never messaged that person back. So when you are working your business, the 5 minutes, the 10 minutes, the 15 minutes, when you can, find those little spots, do the potty time, do the drive-through time, do the waiting time if you're in doctor's offices, or if you're waiting for something to go on, like you have an appointment at 5 o'clock, you realize it's 4:15, you don't have to do anything until 5. That gives you 45 minutes. So you can utilize that time in small spurts to work your business. And then that way you are still doing follow-ups, you're checking on your customers, you're checking on the people that you haven't seen comment for a while, or interact, and you just kind of be like, hey, what's up? Or you can even kind of do, I kind of do either a Facebook or Instagram stalk, and I just go through their page and I see if there's anything going on. Now, if it's been a while since something happened or they post a lot, I may not go back far enough to know that someone had passed away or somebody had just lost their job and they're going through a lot of stuff because a lot of other people have been posting on their page. I try to only spend about 30 to 45 seconds on a person's page of someone in my VIP just to kind of get an idea of like, is there anything going on, anything cray cray? If they haven't posted in like 4 or 5 months, then I know maybe something else is going on. If they haven't commented in my group in 4 or 5 months, sometimes people get off of social media. And if I happen to have their phone number, then that means I'm now moving off of Facebook Messenger or Instagram Messenger, and I am sending them a text message. If for some reason the text message wasn't responded to the last time, so maybe this is my second time reaching out, then I try to do an email. If I don't hear anything from the email, I basically write a little note in my notebook just saying, contacted through Messenger, hasn't been on Facebook in 4 months, not responding to text messages, and hasn't responded to email. And I put the dates of when they're sent. So when I'm going back through my notebook and I'm like, I haven't messaged her in a while, and I realized why. I kind of pushed her to the bottom of the line because she hadn't responded to the multiple ways that I can. I kind of go back to her Facebook page and I'll go and look and say, hey, she's been posting in the last week or so. Maybe I will check to see if she saw my message. Now, again, that is kind of stalkerish, but I look at this as that I want to give great service. And so I want to follow up and I want to make sure that my interactions are being seen and that they know that I see them and that they know that I care. And if something is going on and they need an ear, then I want to lend it to them. If I know I don't have time, like I'm doing my 5 minute because I'm heading out because we're going to dinner or we're meeting with family or we're doing something else, then I won't offer the ear, but I will always give my condolences or I will be empathetic to the situation and just tell them I'm so sorry. Prayers are coming your way, that kind of thing. And again, this is all what I do with my business. I just kind of wanted to let you guys in on what I do, but I do a lot of, I guess you could say, bed working. I work from my bed. I work from my bedroom with my TV on. I'll have a show playing. And then there's times that I'm like, I'll message a message and I have to stop because I'm like, okay, I've sent a lot of messages through Facebook, and before they block me, I can only get to about 10 at one time and I have to stop. And I stop myself for about 20, 30 minutes and I set a timer. And then that means I'll go back to it. If I don't have time to go back to it, then I'll just wait until the next opportunity comes up. So working your business is not a every day you clock in, you clock out. It is honestly the best way to work with your business. If you realize that you're spending a lot of time just watching TV, and you also say you don't have time to work on your business, when you're watching a show, then send out a message. If you have commercials, if you have some of the free services, or you have internet or like cable, and there's a commercial, say every time a commercial comes up, I'm going to message one of my customers, or I'm going to post something, or I'm going to schedule something. If you notice that you're spending a lot of binge time, and this is what I did because there was shows I wanted to binge watch, and it's like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning because I can't fall asleep. And so I will schedule stuff and make sure that there are things coming up on my personal page, on my business page, along with like Instagram. I will like put notes in my reminder in my calendar as reminders to do, like, hey, I want to do this reel, I want to do this YouTube short, or I need to do this training, or this idea just popped in my head. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I can't really do a training right now because I'll wake up my husband. I don't want to go to my office because then I'll start to clean it, and I will schedule something else. My reels, guys, on the days that I am up, I'm moving, and I am energetic, I will do reels, and I will do 3 or 4 about different items. Like my next ones that I have on my notes in my phone is I'm going to start showing some pods and the wall fans, the Scentsy Go, the mini fans, and then I can show them the air purifier. Like, you can take one product and make like 10 videos off of it. If you talk about different things in those videos, or even have a different setting, you can upload those. The videos just have to be under 90 seconds on Instagram, and I think it's 60 seconds on Facebook. Guys, it's really easy. And that's 1 minute, less than 1 minute. You could come on and have a 15-second video of being like, hey, what's up? What's going on? I sell Scentsy, and get off. Like, and then you can have some pictures. Reels are awesome because not only do you have a video, you can add pictures. You can just be like, oh my gosh, have you seen? And then you leave it alone at that. That took like, what, 2 seconds? And then you have a picture of maybe the kit, or the zero out of pocket kit, because you have a hostess starter kit available for your customers. You can seriously do something so small, or you just have a picture of it and you do a voiceover. So one picture, you do a voiceover and talk about it. Then you're not even showing your face, but it's 60 seconds. That's 1 minute out of your time. And that's an easy way to get information. It's more of a commercial. And then look at your commercials. What is the stuff that stops you to look at? What do you start singing? Like, how many times do you hear that commercial before you start singing it? How many times do you are watching this that you already know what the lines are? Like, you can say the whole commercial because it's now been on repeat like 20 times in the last 4 hours, and you now know all the words to it, and you're just kind of like, yeah, Liberty Mutual, Liberty, 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 and you're just done. Like, because you've heard it over and over and over today. So just think about the small things. You don't have to worry about a big project. You don't have to worry about learning a whole new app or learning a whole new system. Find the 5 minutes out of a day. Find, like I said, 5 minutes. You can get up a little earlier while you're having your coffee. Maybe you have your coffee and you're like, I'm going to message one person every time I take a sip. So you get your coffee all made up, you take your sip, and you're like, this smells so good. This tastes so good. And then you're like, I'm going to message Mary Sue. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to have my next sip, and I'm going to sit here, and I'm like, oh, okay. And you set it down, it's Bobby T. And then you're like, if you just message them, good morning, how's it going? Did you get your order? There's so many different things. I don't do templates for my messages because I have a different relationship with every single customer. Every single person that orders from me is in a different point of relationship with me. Some of them are strictly customers, like they're brand new. We're still kind of like that getting to know each other. And then others have been around since like I started 3 years ago. So they know my personality. I can be like, what's up? What's going on? How are you doing? Very just kind of improper. And then I have my friends and family that I've known for like mega years because I'm getting old, that I can just be like, you said you're going to order. What's up? Need Scentsy? Like small little messages. I was like, did you look at the link? I mean, it's very simple and very easy. So I quit using templates because, again, for me, I want to personalize the message to who I'm sending it to. I don't want to send my best friend that I've had since I was 5 years old. Hey, Susie Q, I want to know if you would like to host a party with Scentsy and get free and half price items. Like, that's not going to work for her because she's going to be like, what are you a crackhead? What is going on with you? You want to make sure that you are talking to them like you would talk to them on the phone. And sometimes maybe the text messages aren't working for you. And if you don't want to make the phone call, then maybe you need to do a voice text. And you take your phone and you're just like, hey, Susie Q, I was thinking about you. I think it would be awesome if we could get you some free and half price items. Message me back when you have when you have time, and then leave it alone. You didn't have to type it. They can hear your inflection in your voice. Always smile whenever you're doing voice messages, and then send it out. And if you don't say people's names and it's the same group of people, you could record it, copy it, and then add it to the next person. But honestly, people like to hear their names. If I walked up to you and just kept calling you, hey, hey, you, hey, what's going on? Hey, hey, you're not going to feel very connected to me because I don't know your name. But if I'm like, hey, Susie Q, hey, Bobby T, what's going on, Bobby? What's up? Like, how's the family? Oh, Bobby, that's awesome. You want to use their name. And plus, it helps you remember their name. I always like to save pictures in my contacts. So whenever I'm having a phone call with someone, I'm having a text message, when I'm talking to my phone, because I always use speaker, because I don't like it on my ears, I can see their picture in my phone. And so it's acting like, for me, that is a motion of I'm talking to them. And when they start talking, I can kind of figure out how they word things. My range of customers are a lot older than I am. A lot of them do not do a lot of technology. Now, I'm not saying all of them, I'm just saying a lot of them. My demographics that are showing like on my Facebook, Instagram, YouTube are within 45 to 65. That is my range, and they're mostly women. Now, I still have a huge group that are in the early 40s, which is me. And then I have younger ones as well, because they're either friends of my kids, or they're friends of my friends, or they're the kids of my friends, that kind of thing. So when you are doing these different things, some of those customers are going to not do text message or Facebook Messenger. And that's when you either need to pick up the phone, do a voice message to them. They may not know how to respond back, but at least that maybe you'll get some interaction going on. But I think that's what I have for you guys today. So that is just my little tip and trick of how I work my business from my bedroom, taking 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes of my downtime in my bedroom, watching TV, comfied up, got a drink, I'm good to go. So if you guys want any more tips and tricks, please comment below. If you want any kind of topic that you would like a training on, or maybe you want to learn more about our products, comment below, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. So that way you are in the know of our content. I love you all. I hope you have a blessed Wednesday. And thank you so much for showing up to Work It Wednesday. Good night, guys.